Gay dating is an Olympic sport with no medals, no rules, and absolutely no survivors. And I realized there's one universal experience that every single gay person has gone through, whether they admit it publicly or confess to it through their notes app. Welcome back to the Santino Show, where we unpack life's greatest questions like, why does every man's profile scream emotional damage but in a fun way? And is it trauma or do I just have taste? This is the tragedy of gay dating. Part 1. Terms and conditions. Before we dive into why gay dating feels like a post-apocalyptic wasteland created by no other than Mark Zuckerberg himself, I need to lay out some terms and conditions. Because if you're LGBTQIA+, you already know this. Our dating pool is small and also on fire. I'm starting here because I want you to understand the context. Gay dating doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists in sort of like a petri dish that's contaminated with like internalized shame, heteronormalities, and like a dozen grinded torsos named mask for mask. Okay, so why are we discussing this? I'm gonna tell you. You can't understand the tragedy unless you understand the ecosystem that created it, right? And honestly, it's funny in a horrifying kind of like nature documentary about like extinct animals sort of way. And even though the ecosystem is a mess, the culture swimming inside it is far worse. And trust me, once we talk about it, you'll never see a torso pic the same way again. Part 2. The Beauty Olympics. Okay, so let's talk about the Beauty Olympics. A sport gay men compete in subconsciously, aggressively, and at 7 a.m. before they've even had their morning coffee. In the gay community, we love to judge. We criticize bodies like it's Eurovision and everyone's shirtless. I want to preface by saying this is not an attack or a dig at anyone. It's sociology, darling. Bruh. Queer people grew up without mainstream representation, okay? We tend to curate ourselves like Renaissance sculptures with Wi-Fi. It's important for me to share this because it explains the root for a lot of the toxicity. And it's not just gay people are mean, it's gay people were taught through image and perception, okay? Now in practice, this turns dating into a value system, right? Basically measured in abs, jawlines, biceps, and your package size and circumference. What I find funny is that the Beauty Olympics is only the surface level tragedy. The real heartbreak, the stuff we carry internally and use against each other. Part 3. Internalized feelings. Alrighty, let's talk internalized homophobia, shame, fear, aka the invisible IKEA manual that nobody asked for, but somehow we all have. This section is important because people always ask, including myself, why is gay dating so hard? That's basically asking someone why you can't keep a plant alive. Yeah. Isn't gay dating just like hooking up? Oh, you've hit a nerve now. Like, you better watch yourself. No diva. There's trauma bonding, emotional unavailability, and venti iced lattes. Isn't it easier for you? Men are less complicated. Incorrect. Men are Rubik's Cubes with unresolved childhood issues. Bruh. So like, how do you know if someone's gay when you meet them? I'll sniff the air as if I'm a fucking truffle pig bestie. Be for real. This is exactly one of the reasons why I'm educating us today. And it isn't solely because of the apps, okay? It was the emotional baggage that we were forced to collect before we even learned how to flirt or what being a was. That's very true for me. I was called a before I even knew what the word meant. Yeah, tragic. Growing up queer means that you learned to hide, learn to minimize yourself, learn to overperform, learn to distrust your own feelings. And then you're expected to date like a normal functioning human being? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? No babe, I wish I was. We're traumatized raccoons with skincare routines. And what this does, it creates patterns like avoidant behaviour, commitment issues, self-sabotaging the moment somebody texts back, and thinking someone being nice is a red flag. Because like really, what are they plotting? Like genuinely, like I need to know. But what happens when two people with matching internalized chaos try to date each other? Well, that's where we get into the culture of actual gay dating. And it only gets worse from here. Part 4. The culture problem. We need to dissect the culture because it's not just about dating. It's the expectations that predominantly shape how we navigate, date, and love. Casual culture, fine. Hookup culture, Toxic, but it can pass. Gay Twitter? Oh god. However, the problem is when this becomes the default and not a choice. We're taught, don't get attached, don't ask what we are, don't mention feelings, and don't say I like you unless you want to literally trigger a flight response. No, quite literally. Or, God forbid, I'm not the only one asking questions in every message.
Bruh.
Why? Because feelings equal vulnerability. And vulnerability translates to being dangerous, historically. This matters because it explains why everything feels so unserious. Why an actual romance seems like a plot twist. Why gay men act allergic to commitment like someone's put pollen in their tea. Now the culture only exists because of the realities underneath. And those realities, they're the part that actually no one wants to admit. Part 5. The realities. Here's the truth. Dating is hard for everyone. But for LGBTQIA+ people, it comes with some extra boss spousal levels. We deal with smaller dating pools, geographical limitations, fear of judgment, different life experiences, different traumas, inconsistent relationship expectations, and sometimes a full identity crisis wrapped into a first date. Not that I've been on enough to know. I'm adding this because it's a part of the why behind the toxicity. Not to excuse it, but to better understand it. And the reality is this: most queer people are navigating adulthood without healthy... Is that a wasp? Okay, I need to kill this wasp. I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Most queer people are navigating adulthood without healthy relationship models that look like them. We're learning on the fly. Sometimes beautifully, sometimes messy, and often tragically. Oh. But despite everything, the shame, the culture, the tragedies, there's still a reason we keep trying. There's a reason we still date, and that reason is where our story ends. Part 6. Our future. The tragedy of gay dating isn't the mess, it's the potential inside the mess. Because yes, this video has been chaotic, dramatic, borderline offensive at times, but it comes from love and accountability. And I want to be really clear. This video is not an attack on our community. It's quite the opposite. It's a conversation that we need to have because of the love that we have for ourselves and each other, even when we don't know how to date each other. We're learning and getting better at being honest, setting boundaries, recognizing the toxicity, healing, and building relationships that aren't based on fear. Now this holds significance because this is only one side of the story. The other side is hope. Gay dating isn't completely doomed. It's just complicated, chaotic, deeply unserious, yet profoundly emotional. Like me with my Britney moment. And I think the most beautiful part is this. We're not static, we're evolving, we're self-aware, we're talking about topics more openly now. Publicly, loudly, sometimes in front of a camera to a whole bunch of strangers. Maybe the real beauty is that we're all learning together. Fumbling, tumbling, failing, traumatized, but moisturized. So if you've been struggling, just know you're not alone. We're all in this together for the rest of our lives. In this tragic, hilarious, painfully gay dating experience. You know what I noticed the whole video? I'd literally be tilting my head a lot. I feel like I'd be tilting my head to like prove a point or like emphasize. Thank you so much for watching the Santino show. I really hope you enjoyed this video and it made you think a little bit more deeply about this topic. Now I know it can be a little bit controversial, but I really wanted to start a conversation about the gay dating experience because for me, it has been more struggle than pleasure, fun. Obviously everyone's different and wants different things from dating and whatnot, but I thought it was important to talk about it because a lot of people enjoyed my last video. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel before my next situationship ghosts me.
Bruh.
Bye guys, I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Ba 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 ba.